John from the Nearly Historical Railroad channel. If you haven't already, subscribe. We do model train stuff and things, and we have fun doing it. So anyways, all right, in the last video we got more of the, we got the main line of the standard gauge working all the way around the room, and that is like totally cool. So there's some narrow gauge stuff left to do. There's bits and pieces that are like so close to being right. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna work on that stuff. I'm gonna show you real quick the little pieces that need to be done, but that will finish off like a lot of the narrow gauge mainline, actually all of it, hopefully. So keep in mind with the narrow gauge layout, you know, we acquired the layout and we've been putting sections together, but there's a lot of pieces like this that was hand laid roadbed. And you know, they're just laying around. And I've reused as much of this as possible. So there's lots of sections here that is this type of work. So we just need to get them connected, check the gauge on all of them. So that's what my dad and I are gonna be working on at this moment. So let me show you a couple things. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you, this is Como right down here. We come up here and we're calling this Kenosha Great. This all works and is wonderful. Right here is where we kind of stop. All right, I'm gonna do a quick run through of what we'd like to get accomplished to try and get this main line finished off for the most part. So we're gonna pick up right here. This rail, it just needs to be connected up. We'll actually probably replace this rail, but there's already ties here. We need to sand this down to make a nice vertical curve and make that work better. This needs to be mounted. Dad's gonna add in some ties here. There's already existing hand-laid ties here that we're going to use. Scott's already got ties down for this turnout. We need to mount it. This section here, again, older stuff that we're reusing, recycling. This is old ties. This already has rail. We will keep this. We'll just check the gauge on it, make sure there's no big gaps in there or anything. This might need to get filed down a little bit. It sticks up a little bit, but this is all down and ready to go. It needs feeders. It's all needs feeders. This is all, this upper route here is ready to go. This part here, I gotta come up with some crazy mechanics to make this turnout work with the tortoise. I'm gonna worry about that later, but I gotta keep it in mind. We'll straighten this out a little bit. This goes into the reverse loop, not gonna worry about that right now. This is hand-laid stuff, already has rails. We'll check the gauge on that. Now let's come over to the other side. That goes through the Alpine Tunnel over here to Romley. Pops out right here. My dad has taken out our board here. In place of that, he's put this board in temporarily. So we're just gonna run a piece of flex track across here just so we can finish off this route. We'll probably put this turnout in so we can go into the reverse loop if we want. Who knows how long it will take me to finish that other board. But this will come into here. We already have ties down here for this turnout. Need to mount that. Jim put ties in for that. And I just built this. That's why I'm kind of doing this whole thing right now, because now I have that. That's the last turnout I needed for this part of the main line. We'll get ties in for that. These ties are already here. My dad added some ties in that tunnel. We also shortened the tunnel. He did. So these all have ties ready for rail. This stuff here is, you know, old existing repurposed stuff, so we'll connect into it. There's a break here, there's a break there, so we'll do something with this, replace that rail probably. And from here down, this is good. This already works. Needs feeders, but it works. So once we get that done, we will have mainline going to St. Elmo and Romley over the Palisades through Kenosha Pass. Not necessarily in that order, but that's what we'll have. So I'll give you an update in a little bit here. This is Code 55 rail, lots of it, from a long time ago. I don't know how old these are, but we're gonna be using that up. Oh, it's my phone. I guess that won't record right now. Let's try that again. So, quick little update. So my dad got ties glued down for this turnout. We want to get all the glues. Dad got these ties glued down for this turnout. We wanted to try to get all the ties glued down first so that we can let it dry. And I've started stuff over here. Let me show you that. All right, so I went ahead and just replaced this, and I staggered the joints. Put rail joiners in here. Really difficult to cut this existing rail and file that so you can get a rail joiner on there. Don't really want to do that anymore, but thought it important here. So that goes there. That's all connected into there, and it lines up here nicely. And these turnouts were built in place, actually. So I was able to slide this rail out to put a whole new one in here. And I got that one started. Now I'm going to start spiking these rails down, and we'll go around the corner. So that's what I'm going to do next. Let me show you what else my dad is doing. So this is our Kenosha Pass area, and he's getting ties laid down going around that curve. You may notice that some of this stuff is flex track and some of this is hand laid. So why am I doing hand laid and not just flex track? So most of this Colorado Southern layout, basically actually all of it, is hand laid track. That's how we got it, and so this is a highly visible area, so I just want to stay true to how it originally was built. We're hand laying this stuff. So that is why hand laid here. This stuff over here, that's like flex track. That's just to get past the stairs. I'm not hand laying 15 feet of track just to get past a set of stairs with hardly any scenery. So, but this is gonna be hand laid. Okay, so the way I'm doing this is I'm just putting this rail down, you know, close to where I think it needs to be. A lot of these ties might get trimmed, we'll see. Once that one is down, then I'll put the next one down, and we'll use the track gauges and stuff to make sure it's in gauge. But this one doesn't matter so much, you know, as long as I'm not running it down the center of the ties, we should be okay. All right. Okay, quick little update. So I've got this one rail spiked all the way down just about to the turnout. So we're gonna work on that. So I just eyeballed it, except for this area right here. I did use a straight edge against the rail like that, just because there's gonna be a depot here. The platform doesn't go right up against the train necessarily, but I still want it to be straight on the depot there. Rest of it, we're just kind of eyeballing it as we go. So now I'm at this turnout. I'm gonna cut some of these copper ties to make them match the wood ties, figure out where this needs to go, and get this rail connected to it. All right. On this curve stuff, I went ahead and just very gently put a curve in the rail before I spiked it down. That was already kind of going where it needed to go, and there's less, I don't know, tension on it, trying to go straight. So, yeah, did that. I'm pushed to the edge and take it all. I'm born to be untamable. Go right to the edge and never fall. Burn the fire. I'm taking it higher. All right, here's an update. So my dad has ties glued down, not only for this part of the main line here, but also out there. That is actually part of the main line, but not the part we're focusing on at the moment. So, good stuff. And here at St. Elmo, I've got this rail spiked down all the way around. All the way around and through this turnout, to the next turnout, to there. So now, I think I'm gonna start working on the second rail. That may take a little bit more time because, well, I gotta make sure it's engaged. But, here we go. These are working out quite nicely. I'm going every other set of spikes for now. I don't know why. I'll come back and get the other ones. I want to get it in the gauge. Get something set. I'll come back and add the other ones. All right, oh, that's close. All right, so I'm just gonna keep going. I'll give you an update in a little bit. Another update. Check this out. All right, I've got both rails spiked down all the way through St. Elmo, through our funky tunnel, around the bend over here, to this turnout that goes to our mine, and to the next turnout. This is very good. So again, this part here is just kind of temporary at the moment. So this is code 70, this is code 55. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more rail onto here, so then we can make a transition from 55 to 70. And I guess keep going down this way, I suppose. Okay, an update. Not really. Jim's here. So, all right, he brought a locomotive too. So we're gonna check that out.
I bought these just 30 years ago.
Really?
This is a Proto 2000 box car.
Yeah.
And when they came on the market, they were really cheap. This one, the resale price was $7. They even sold them like as cheap as $5.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting when they came out. It's an exceptionally fine kit. When they say Proto, they mean it. This thing is so super tailed you can't believe it. You know, look at the ladders.
Oh, yeah. That's
Well,
great.
the problem was modelers could not put them together. They were so finely detailed, and it was the engineering and the die work. It was for detail, but not for construction. So they had to come out with a new set of kits that were partially assembled. Well, this is one of the original kits. You can, and this is an example of just how fine they are. Look at the bottom end.
Yeah.
And everybody complained about them because all this fine plastic breaks when you cut it off the screws. So an average model builder can't build these things. Not because of skill, but because of experience. You know, I'm not an average model builder. I figured out how to build these suckers.
Yeah.
So I brought this car along. I just got it finished today.
Oh,
I brought it along to be tied behind this custom locomotive.
And you bought it 30 years ago?
This is at least 30 years
Okay.
ago. I bought this in
He bought it 30 years ago and he just finished it yesterday.
Yep.
So if you're sitting on a project, it's fine. You got lots of time.
You're not the only one. The whistle that's on here is a recorded from the 4449. It is the correct whistle for this locomotive.
Dad's working on getting some feeders put in. And I got this piece of flex track and this turnout in all the way down. I don't know if anything's gonna go through this or not, but we'll have to try it out. Turnout's not really active because this doesn't really go very far at the moment. So that's okay, but I think things will actually go through here. We'll see what happens. Update. Scott's here. Scott is here.
That's all that work.
But it's actually pretty much almost the end of the night. So we'll go over some stuff in just a minute here. Scott's getting raisins. Oh!
Epic fail.
Raisins on the floor.
I don't know what the other one is. I know what this
I
one
think
is.
I saw it in there.
Guess what? I take them wrong.
All right. So it's been a long day. I actually came out a little early.
Not for me.
Well, he came out at a little bit later than normal, but whatever. He
Side projects.
helped us do feeders and stuff. So I'm gonna give you a recap of how far we got today. It's pretty cool. We don't have it running, but it's really close. We don't wanna rush it. We're really close. I got far. It was cool. Check it out. Okay, so I'm gonna start from right here. So this is working already, but the narrow gauge there, that's where we stopped. So almost ready to put feeders in. This here is, got this rail all connected. I got these here because I want to solder these connections right here, but the rail's in place, spiked down, need solder. not worrying about this right now, but this is all spiked down. This goes all the way around. This is the St. Elmo area. Turn that, write this down. And this comes all the way around, and my dad has actually got a lot of the feeders dropped down and halfway connected. So we got this, and we came all the way through this turnout. We got that in. Still need some more spikes. I just want to make sure it all runs first before I spike it down really well. Same with this one. Goes all the way through that. Got this connected and goes all the way through here. And I actually had to do some stuff inside there. Let me show you that real quick. Here is where that comes in. And this was not actually connected, like right in here. Had to spike rail down. It's tough to make this connection between this board and that board. But that's all working. I rolled a car through it. Sorry about the shadow. So that is all happy. Oh, you can kind of see it now. So I got that all spiked down and a car rolls through it. Here's the other side of that tunnel. So I got this straightened out a little better. Got some ties into there. That wire is just to indicate which rail goes to the red wire. And Scott got these feeders connected on this. Spin around this way, and this goes all the way up and over, and you got feeders in, all on this top route. And I mentioned earlier that we needed to actually remove this turnout and file this down. So I've got this started, that's filed down. Just need to connect this back in, but I'm done for the night. So this is really close. Actually, Dad started work on feeders on here. There's a couple gaps up there. I got those closed up. My dad got these ties down, showed you that earlier, but all those ties are in place, all those ties are in place. Still need to file that vertical curve down, but I mean, this is how close we are. This from here, you know, like around to here, and that turnout down there, a little bit there, is like all we have to get this line going from Como all the way over to St. Elmo, Romley, and beyond, back down. So you can go down this lower route. Where's my finger? Yeah, you can go down this lower route. You go all the way around that, and you come back up this way. This is very good. Lots of progress. I'm gonna show you this real quick also. So we have this little golden spike area bridge that we set up. My dad the other day set this up. So it's just a little thing for the bridge to slide in and out of. So we got a place to store it. So it just goes right there. Works good. Okay. So I'm gonna interrupt you guys real quick. So that's it for the night.
Good night.
Ring the bell so you get notifications, new videos that come out. You got a quick bell down there actually. Subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Thanks for watching.
Good night, Gracie.
Good night. Good night. See y'all.